back with another episode of Successful Marketing and Sales for adult business owners and entrepreneurs, where we teach you how to do the four core things that make you have a more beautiful, wonderful business so you can have a more beautiful, wonderful life. And if you're wondering what the four core things are, it is get customer, close customer, keep customer, and capitalize off your customers. So, with that being said, thank you for tuning in. I am your host, best-selling author Sadon Long, and it is a pleasure and an honor to be in front of you again as always. So today, if you're tuning in, thank you for tuning in live. If you're not tuning in live, we go live typically 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So make sure that you tune in Monday, Wednesday, Friday, typically somewhere between 7:30 and 7:45 a.m. Central Standard Time. But if you're watching this on YouTube or if you're listening to us on Spotify, we thank you for watching us there as well. And if you're watching on Spotify, there are clips on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. So if you're looking for more content and you're looking for more help, you can go to grownandrich.com. That's right, grownandrich.com, and click that Make Money Fast button. And when you click the Make Money Fast button, you're going to get a call from me. And then we're going to talk about what's going on in your business. And if there's something that we discuss that happens to make you some money, which is not uncommon, you get to keep it, use it from here on out in perpetuity, and it's for free. So, again, thank you for tuning in. And today, we're talking about how to overcome pricing objections. Well, not just pricing objections, but also the um, just looking or just shopping or I'll get back with you. Okay. Now, the reason I want to do this is because I know you at home, you're hoping that you spent money on ads, you're hoping that you're using SEO, you're hoping that you're using all of these things and that it's driving traffic to your site. You know, I've got my SEO guy, I got my marketing guy, I got my Google ad, I got my Facebook ad, and I got all of that stuff going. And now they're getting to your site, but you're still not getting any sales. You know, you're getting to your site and people aren't staying very long, they aren't leaving you any contact information, and if you can't get any contact information, that means you can't get in contact with them. And if you can't get a sale, that means you can't make any money. And again, I want you to be in a position to be able to take care of your family. I want you to be in a position to do bigger deals. I want you to be in a position that you could really become a 6 or 7 figure business owner. Because again, how would that affect your life? You know, and if there was a way to do it and you're not doing it currently, what is it costing you? So if there was literally a way for you to close more customers, keep more customers longer, keep them buying longer, and you weren't doing it, what would that really cost you? So the reason I'm saying this is because, you know, I've had clients who literally come to me and they're spending thousands of dollars and nothing's converting. And they don't know how to get it to convert. So here's some of the things that I've done that actually convert. Oh, and by the way, on, I want to say April 2nd, we are having a webinar, a web class, web training, whatever you want to call it. It's 600K in 5 months. It's the strategy that I use to help a client make $600,000 in 5 months. And I'm going to break down each and every step of how we did it. And so you can implement it in your own life. Now, obviously, everybody's not going to do $600,000 because a lot of that depends on the price point of whatever item you're selling. So if you're doing something that only is costing people $20, you know, probably not going to get you 600K. But what I do guarantee beyond a shadow of a doubt is that it's going to get you way more than you're getting right now. And how would way more help you? Way more might help you a lot. So you might not do 600K. And again, I'm not the type of person to try to gas people up and try to say, hey, I'm going to turn you into something that you could never be based on your price point. But what I am saying is that we're going to get the best out of whatever your business is. We're going to close as many people as possible. We're going to show you how to keep those people and then capitalize off those people so that your income can grow, so that you can raise your price. And eventually you can get your own 600K in 5 months. Now imagine somebody who takes this class is probably going to be able to do something similar, if not better. But I digress. Let's get to it. So first and foremost, let's talk about the um I'll call you backs or the shoppers. Because a lot of times what you're getting with shoppers is they want to go look for a cheaper version of what you do. So if you say, okay, it costs you 10,000 to do it with us. Now that person's gonna go shop around and say, okay, well let me see if I can't get the same thing for 4,000. So that's the first thing. So what you want to do in situations like that is number one, you want to be a specialist. You want to be a specialist. And when I say a specialist, what I mean is if you look at most of my clients, there is something that they do uniquely well that only they do, and that's something that we highlight in the marketing. If you look at somebody like Exodus Logistics, they are the number one freight brokering training program in the United States. So now, because they're number one, that gives them a certain lift in the eyes of the customer. So if you don't go with us, who are you going to go with? You going to go with number two? You going to go with number three? So the first thing off the top is you want to be the best in your industry at something. And if you are the best, if you're the most tenured, if you're the longest standing, if you whatever that thing is, you want to do that so that you can then use that to leverage your customer base. So if you're using that to leverage your customer base, now, like I said, where are they going? They going to number two? Most people would rather sit the bench for the Lakers than start for the Clippers. Why? Because the Lakers are seen as a first class organization. No disrespect to the Clippers, but if you say who do you want to play for in LA, you want to play for the one where all the stars are at. So the first thing you want to do is you want to highlight the thing that you better do better than anybody else. For me, it's hey, we make marketing that closes. We use words to create wealth. You know, we're the ones that if you're driving traffic to a site, we're the one that's closing them so you can get a wealth transfer. And wouldn't you like a wealth transfer? So now if you have to choose between somebody who's a little bit cheaper and me, what happens is, okay, I'm gonna make you money, they're gonna make you memes. Which would you prefer? So now the selling process is different, because now you're showing a benefit that your competition isn't showing. You're able to do something that your competition isn't able to do. And when you're able to do something your competition isn't able to do, and you can do it faster, and you can do it with less stress, and you can do it more often, now there's no competition anymore. So it's either pay me and get the great results that only I can provide you, or pay the other guy and get less. You know, it works in every industry. You go and you look at when supersizing first started. Supersizing gave you more for your buck. So now that you got more for your buck, they took a huge leap over their competition because now it was a much better offer. I am offering you a drink, a fry, and a burger for what the other person is offering a burger and a fry for. Now you might say, well, how that's going to cut into my profits. Not necessarily, because one or two things is going to happen. Either A, you're going to make it up with volume, which means that you're just going to get way more sales than the other guy, or B, what's going to happen is because you picked a certain combination of things, that your margin improved. Okay. Now, margin is hey, that's the difference between what we sell it for and what we keep. So if we sell it for $2 and we get to keep nine is the margin. So anybody at home, that's how you always want to look at it. Because what became the thing with the supersizing was that it was costing them about a nickel or less with cup included, but it was netting them $1. So for an additional nickel, we were getting an additional dollar. So for every nickel, we got a dollar. So if you can get a nickel out, but a dollar going in, how much better is that? So again, number one is figuring out what you do better than anybody else. Number two, figuring out exactly where you can combo, where you can collab with other services or group other services together that don't cost you as much. So that you can then have leverage in the selling process and say to someone, it's just a way better deal over here. You know, not necessarily cheaper, but better. You know, and communicating that we're the best, communicating that our packages are the best, communicating that whatever we do is significantly higher than the other guy now puts you in a position in the selling process to say you can search around and you still ain't gonna find nobody. Searched all over, couldn't find nobody. So if you play to your strengths and your strengths are strong enough, you'll be able to dictate to your customer because now you know that even if they shop the whole market, they could find cheaper, but they can't find better. You know, yeah, you could get cheaper and then get what you paid for. So that's the first two things, that we're gonna put together better packages. Then we're gonna put together. Then we're gonna frame ourselves as the leader in our industry in something specific that we know that our clients need. Again, for me, when it comes right down to it, I teach you how to turn free social media into cold hard cash. I teach you the four core, which is get customer, keep close customer, keep customer, capitalize off customer. Now, what that's going to do for you is it's going to make you a much more profitable business. It's going to make you more attractive to investors. It's going to make you more attractive as a CEO because now you're doing something significant in a world where most people don't do it, which is make money. A whole lot of people have grand openings, but in the words of Jay-Z, grand opening, grand closing. So again, this is a serious thing, man. This is how you feed your family. Real talk. This is how you are feeding your family. And if there's no sales, then it's going to be some real cold nights because you're going to be alone. If there's no sales, how do you pay good people? If there's no sales, how do you take the vacations? If there's no sale, how do you ball out? You know, a lot of people got PPP loans, and those PPP loans are gone. And in the process of getting those PPP loans, they never learned how to get any customers. They never learned how to keep any customers. So now they're gone. They're done. They're over with. But that doesn't have to be you. Because if you know how to get customers, even if you take a break, even if you go away for a little while, you can always turn it right back on again. So if you learn how to do it, not only can you turn it back on again, you can use it to start other businesses. Wouldn't you like to have more than one stream of income? And if you become proven at doing it, then you'll have the sales to make you amongst the elite, which means that people want to hear your strategies, that people want to hear you on podcasts, that people want to see you on TV, that people want you to speak at their events. See, the success that the systems create for you will then raise your profile, raise your value, raise your appearance fee, all of the above, and then allow you to name, image, and likeness license yourself. We only know about some people, because they've been successful. You know, Trump Towers, all of those Trump Towers weren't owned by Trump, but Trump had a big name. And you're like, well, I'm not Trump. I don't want to be Trump. Yeah, true enough. But if you're popping in your city and you put your name on an event, and you put your name on a flyer, and people will come out, then you can manage to leverage that. Like, I don't want to own the restaurant, but if you pay me a certain percentage every month, I'll let you use my good name. Makes sense, right? Why not? But you got to get the success first. Because the people who are able to license their name, They have notoriety. But if you're in your city and you got notoriety from being a businessman who's always out here cutting ribbons, opening locations, showing up at the Chamber of Commerce, giving speeches, because you've been successful, you can license your name too. You know, because now what they'll start saying is, hey, so and so just opened up a new spot. You might not have did none of the work, might not have put any of the time in, but your name's on it. People come out for that. Wouldn't you like to get a check not to do anything? Well, if you get sales for your business and your business starts to blow up, then, money just starts coming in because now people want to be around you and do business with you. And if you're smart, you'll leverage that and get the best deals for you, which is licensing deals. A licensing deal will allow you to keep your IP, which is your intellectual property. It'll allow you to keep, your brand. You'll never have to worry about, people stealing it because they'll buy it. Put your name on it. Come take a picture. Come have meals with us a few times, and we'll keep sending you a check. How great is that? But now back to what we do. So again, we're talking about people saying, I want to shop around. And the reason they shopping around is because they think they're going to get a better deal. So if you frame yourself as the best in your industry and then you offer the best deal, and the best deal does not mean cheapest, now what are they looking around for? What are they hoping to find? Ain't going to find a better deal. Ain't going to find nobody getting better results. No, I am telling you this because this is not only what I do for myself, but I do for my clients. You know, if you sit down with me and you say, okay, I'm gonna look around for other people, sometimes I'll let you. But other times I'll step in and say, well, what are you hoping to find somewhere else? There's nobody else who can affect your bottom line the way we do. There might be other people who can make a website for you. There might be other people who can send an email for you, but sending emails and emails that close and are two different things. Which would you prefer? Would you prefer the one that closes or the one that doesn't? Serious question. Ask yourself. You know, you might pay $500 for somebody to send emails for you, but if that didn't make you $5,000, was that a good investment? And here, what we're talking about is because you have to take care of your family, because you have to feed your kids, because you have to prepare for your retirement, that you need to put money in so that you get money out. And if you put this money into a business and now everybody's telling you, I'll call you back, let me think about it, I'll get with you in a couple months, then where's your wealth transfer come from? So again, now, we talked about the first two. Now here's the third one. Now in the actual letters and emails and marketing and videos and all of that stuff, you always want to put time limits on things. Okay, people telling you they're gonna look around, you telling them that hey, this deal is only good for 48 hours. Now you're going, well, what if they go look around? Okay. Well, we've already established with the first two building blocks, because these are building blocks. We've already established with the first two building blocks that you're the best in your industry. You got the best offer. So now, not only do I have the best offer, but it's only for a limited time. So go look around if you want to, but the price gonna go up by the time you come back. Shout out to Fat Joe, because yesterday's price is not today's price. So now, if you want to take advantage of this good deal, know that it's for a limited time only. You see it all the time. McRib is only for a limited time only. So you don't have all day to just think about it and wonder about it and procrastinate and, try to overanalyze it. This is the deal. This is how long the deal lasts. Either do it or don't. Okay. Same thing with a doorbuster. The best deal is 7 o'clock in the morning. Why is it 7 o'clock in the morning? Because we want that money in the bank by noon. So if you start off your day saying, okay, we're gonna try to get as much traffic in as possible. We're gonna give them these really great deals, and but they over at 11. So now by 11, you might be up $2,000, $3,000 or more, depending on the volumes that you do. But the reason you're doing it is to get people in the store. See, the thing you want to do at home is you want to look around. You want to see all of the things that people are doing in similar industries and then adopt them and adapt them to yours. You want to literally be like, okay, well, cool, that worked over there. Let me try it over here and see if it works. You know, and putting a time limit on it will stop a lot of people from looking around. And if they do look around and they won't find a better deal, you got nothing to worry about. Because again, you're communicating to them that we are the best at what we do. We're the fastest, we're the easiest to work with, and we get the best results. So when you're able to figure out what a person's ideal outcome is and then create a way to get there easier, faster, simpler, with less stress, and you're the best at doing that, and you're the only one that does that, and you put a time limit on it too, your close is going to go up. Because now that person's sitting across from you and they got to figure out whether or not they want to lose it or not. Like, man, if I'd have did it yesterday, it would have been $49. Shit, do I really want to wait another day and let it go back to 89? Nah, let's go and do it today. Yeah. So now, what ends up happening is your close rate goes up. Because when people are looking around, they're usually looking for a better deal. And most of the time, there's not a better deal. It's just that you have not communicated it clear enough that that is the deal. And the deal is great because you've answered all their questions. Now, is this going to work? Yes. What happens if it doesn't work? Well, we work with you until it works. Okay. Well, how much does it cost? Okay. Well, the cost isn't really the issue here because most of the people that we've worked with, we've exceeded their expectations. So the question is, what is it worth to exceed your expectations? It's like a direct flight versus one where there's layovers. Now, if I spend $100 more to go direct to somewhere, it's because now that saved me money and time. It was easier. So if you say, hey, we'll get the grass knocked out within 45 minutes, you won't even have to come out the house. It makes it easier. And if you're communicating it so that they can see it and understand why it is valuable, then it gives you an even better chance of closing. When you talk to a business owners, well, it's complicated. Okay, nobody gives you money for complicated. They give you money for simple. They give you money for 3 steps or less. They give you money when you say, hey, call, set meeting, make plan, start seeing success. That's what they give you money for. They don't give you, well, see, we need you to come in, then we're going to talk about it, and then, probably next week we're going to, no, they give you money for boom, boom, boom. And once you get boom, 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 then it's bucks, bucks, bucks. So there we go, there we go, and there we go. So again, we gave you 3. You want to be a leader in your industry, you want to give them the best offer, and you want to put a time limit on it. Because you put a time limit on it, then it's going to stop them from looking around because they're not going to find a better offer. And it gives them less time to find a better offer. So psychologically, they feel like they saved something. If they don't feel like they saved something, then that's probably not a good offer. Because you should be able to say, hey, look how much you're getting. Look how much you're spending. Okay. What you get back is it well exceeds what you're spending to get it. Okay. Now, value and cost are 2 different things. So something could be worth a lot and not cost very much. So don't get caught up in, well, I don't want to I don't want to give away too much. Okay. Don't get caught up in that. Because see, here's the thing with giving away too much. The reason people say you're giving away too much is because you're not ever taking anything away. See, if you give someone a whole bunch of information, but you never really pull any of the information away and make them think about the solution, then all you're doing is just blah, 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 blah. Okay. Example. Okay. Obviously, if you're at home right now, talking to you, you need more sales. Do you have a system in place that's going to get you more sales? Okay. Not having a system in a place to get you more sales is going to cost you what? What could you do if you had more sales? Okay. What could you do if you had a way to make sure that it was easy to get them each and every week? What would happen if you started getting them on a regular basis? Okay. Now, what is not getting them on a regular basis costing you? No. How are you losing ground to your competitor by not having a system in place that gets sales? I haven't talked about my product one time. All I've done is opened up a loop in their mind that's got them going, well, dang, how much am I costing myself by not losing weight? Medications, price of my clothing, my confidence, hell, I probably could get promoted if I lost some weight. So now it's about what it's costing me. So when you say what's costing me, then that other person has to say, well, yeah, I need to fix that. Me telling you you need to fix it does not work. Now, for people who are tuning in, yeah, I'm giving you information. I'm giving you free game. So the question is, can you really afford to not do what I'm telling you to do? Can you really afford not to show up and learn how I did 600K with a client in 5 months? What would your own version of a system that does 600K for somebody in 5 months do for your business? Okay. So moving on. So now, just let's talk about price. You know, is that the best deal? Does it cost too much? We kind of been dancing back and forth between the two the whole time. But here's the thing about price. When people say it costs too much, or when people are worried about price, is because they don't see the value. Okay, what do I mean? They don't see why it's worth what you're charging. Okay, now when somebody calls me a marketing person, typically they want to lowball me. Oh, you're just a marketing guy. Okay, well, I'm a marketing guy who actually can close clients, though. Can your marketing guy do that? No. You're asking me to use my words, wisdom, experience, and intelligence to make you money. So you think that I'm going to make you millions of dollars for $500? That I'm going to do the work. I'm going to write the email that closes. I'm going to create the monthly sales that close. I'm going to create the sense of urgency. I'm going to make it so that you can raise your price. And you're going to give me $500? Nah, that's unacceptable. See, now when you start to really break down what this is worth, then price goes out the window. Which is why we want to stick on what is this thing costing the person who is sitting across from you. So are you really gonna haggle over $20? Let's just say you own a restaurant. Okay. So now a person comes to the restaurant. What's more impressive, the big steak or the 7 ounce? Okay. You want to impress the girl? Get the big steak. Let her get the crab legs. Let her get the lobster tail. Let her get the surf and turf. Let her get the executive meal. That's going to impress her. So now what's worth more? You closing a deal with this girl at the end of the night, or the $30 between the 7 ounce sirloin and the porterhouse? What's worth more to you? What's worth more? Did you make a good impression on this person that you're trying to close a deal with, or that you save $100? Which one is worth more? You know, and one thing that I do a lot is I'll break it down into what it costs a day. Okay, so you're gonna let $30 a day keep you from making $1,000 a day. Okay, well, what's $30? Well, if you look at it over the time that I'm going to be doing the work, this is what it adds up to. But if you look at the benefit over that same amount of time, this is what that adds up to. So if a person just did one more of whatever they were doing than they were doing before, they would have not only doubled their money, they would have done it without having to do the work. You know, see, a lot of what you're doing at home right now isn't working. Okay? But what would really happen if you started doing something that worked? If you actually had marketing that closed, if you actually had emails that people read all the way through, and then the offers at the end were good enough to get them to give you money, what would happen then? How would it change your life if you could start doing an extra 1,500, an extra 1,000 a week? Because now you're closing more customers and you're adding more onto each sale, and you're able to keep those customers and get them to buy again, and then get them to give you some referrals. How would that change your life? Yeah. Well, again, that's why you go to grownandrich.com versus the other guy. Because the other guy might drive traffic to your site, but then it doesn't close. So you spend money to get people to come by, but not buy. Yeah. Well, we had a whole bunch of people stop by. Anybody give you any money? Nope. Was that any good for you? So you spent a whole lot of money to entertain people, but you didn't make any money. You're a business owner. You are a business owner. You are not in business to go broke. You are in business to leave a legacy to your children and your children's children. If you cannot get sales, how are you going to do that? So you need marketing that closes people. You had a conversation the other day, just not digressing, just kind of give you a little more backstory. Had a conversation the other day, and person kept asking me about packages, and I really was just like, well, everything we do is customized to the specific client. If my guys work with you and I work with you, we want to customize whatever we do specifically for you. You know, you may have something that's working, and we might not mess with that, but you might have something else that isn't working, and we'll change it. So each time it's different because each person is different. Now, what we will do at the end of the day is we'll always, build it around the four core, which is getting more customers, closing more customers, keeping your customers longer and buying longer, and capitalizing off the relationships you have with said customers. We'll always do that. But how we do it changes from person to person. So I'm watching this guy, and he's like, well, we got these packages, and they start at $1,500. And I'm like, okay. So what's the guarantee that if you do send these emails out, that people are going to open them? What's the guarantee that people are going to read them and buy? Okay, if you do build a website, what's the guarantee that people are going to give me contact information that's going to be a lead generator? Because if I can't generate any leads, then I can't follow up with anybody, and I can't get any sales. Okay, what's the guarantee that when you read these posts, that these posts are then going to make people go to my website? So now let me walk you through it one more time. Okay, we do the social media. We ask questions that we know, well, we answer questions that we know the customers are looking for answers for. Therefore, positioning ourselves as the expert. Then we offer a solution to the problems that we know they have. But the only way they can get the solution is to give us their information. Okay. So now some of those customers are going to buy immediately. So we put buy now buttons. So as soon as they read it, see it, whatever, click the link below, they're able to buy. Then some other customers aren't going to buy, and they're going to need to see more videos, and they're going to see us elevate and celebrate some people to then give them the confidence that this thing works and lower their risk. Okay. Now that's going to work with some of the customers. And then we're going to put together these really good offers, and then we're going to make them for a limited time only. So when we get to that next group of customers who are kind of on the fence and don't really know, and they think they want to do it, but they know they want to do it, but they won't really know, they kind of know, we're going to give them the opportunity to get a really great deal, but we're only going to give them so much time to take advantage of it because we always want to be in control of the sale. Even when we feel like we're giving them power, we still want to maintain power. Now, I'm going to give you the power to say yes or no, but I'm going to set the times and the terms under which you can say yes or no. And then we're going to reduce risk again by saying, okay, well, we'll give you 30-day money back guarantee. If we're really comfortable with what we do, hey, we'll give you 60-day, 90-day. And in reality, the longer we give you, the less likely you are to get a refund. Not because it got better or worse. It just simply says that, okay, if it's not working right now, I still got 40 more days. So now you give somebody 40 days extra. Guess what? Now it gives it a chance to work. And worst case scenario, they've been using it for 40 days and they feel like, hey, I kind of used it already. I got my money's worth. Now, if everybody's asking for their money back, then you know your program is trash. And then you can make the necessary adjustments to fix your program. Simple as that. But again, all of these things are designed to help you close. Because if there's no close, there's no wealth transfer. And if there's no wealth transfer, how do you then diversify your portfolio? When you go to work, you get a paycheck. When you go into business, you're still supposed to get a paycheck, except that paycheck is called sales. Okay. Now, for my people at home, some of you are looking at this and you're going, but I want grants. How do I get free money? How do I get other people's money? How do I get business credit? Have some sales. Sales is other people's money. That is the best way to get other people's money on the planet. Sales. Because every time somebody gives you their money, now you get to use their money to build your business. Which then, in turn, is going to make more investors want to give you money. Because now you have proof that you could pay it back because you have sales coming in. No disrespect to, anybody out here saying, well, you could just get the business credit and you could do this, you do that. Yeah. Ask yourself this. When's the last time somebody gave you something for free? Banks want to use your money to make more money, right? How do they use your money to make more money? They loan your money out and charge people interest. Now, I'm going to let you use John's $1,000. But in return for letting you use John's $1,000, I'm going to need 8.9%. So when John's money gets paid back and it gets put back in John's account, it came with an additional 8.9% that the bank put in their account. So they used your money to make money. Now, the cool thing about the bank is that the bank ain't just going to use your money with anybody. They want to see, hey, can this person pay us back? What's your credit score look like? Okay, what's your banking history look like? Let us see proof of concept. Okay, cool, this is working. So now that we see it's working, give you this money is not as much of a risk. Because remember, as we always talk about, the person sitting across from you in the bank, they got to feed their family too. And if they keep giving out bad loans that nobody pays back, they're going to lose their job. So when's the last time you risked your job on a stranger? When's the last time somebody said they got a great idea and all they need is your money to get it handled, and you just were like, okay, here, take my money? Because in your mind, you're going, why do these banking managers care? Because it's not their money. It's not their money, but it is doggone sure their responsibility. And if they shirk their responsibilities, it will no longer be their money and they will no longer have a job. So getting sales, being able to close your customers and keep your customers, buying longer, is the best way to get a bank to give you more money. Because you're a closer. You're somebody who's generating capital. So now I want to loan you John's $1,000. Why? Because if I give you John's $1,000, I know it's going to come back with 8.9% on top of it. And we're going to get to keep that for ourselves. John going to come to the bank, his $1,000 going to be safe and sound, and everybody will be happy. So again, if you're sitting at home and you're going, well, I want, the grant writers, I want them to give me money. I want the foundation to give me money. I want these loans. Okay. These people are looking for success stories. If you prove to them in advance that you have a likelihood of being extremely successful, you are more likely to get money. The reason you are more likely to get money because you will now become their poster child. You will now become the person that they did good for. So when you become the person that they did good for, they didn't get to go back to the people who gave them the money because the foundation comes through donations. Because foundations get donations. The foundations get people who give them endowments. The foundations get people who give them money to then give out to smaller non-for-profits. You know, so now when the foundation runs out of money, they got to go back to the people who gave it to them and say, "Hey, look at all the good we did." Same thing for the nonprofit. Nonprofit got to come back to the foundation and say, "Look at all the good we did." So the foundation, they're going to ask people who have a lot of money, or they're going to have a collective of people putting in money. So that's how the pot gets big. Now, then the non-for-profits are going to come to them and say, "Hey, this is what we got going on. We need this much money." So now the non-for-profit's going to get money from the foundation. Foundation gives them money, but in return, they want to know that they're doing something with the money. The best way to prove that you're doing something with the money is success stories. So if you're successful, now the non-for-profit that gave you the money then gets to go back to the foundation and say, "Look at what we did. Cheryl came to us with her business idea. She was already kind of getting a little bit of money doing it, but not really enough. It wasn't enough structure involved. It wasn't, enough of a big enough kitchen, or she didn't have the money to do, buy the materials or whatever it was, you know, and we helped her. Now, after we helped Cheryl, Cheryl did $700,000. So now when they go back to that foundation, say, "See, this is what we did with your money." So now the foundation is say, "Okay, we'll give you some more money. Oh, and we want to meet Cheryl." So now Cheryl gets to come. She get to speak at the little luncheon, and she get to tell everybody her story. She get to cry and all that good stuff, and everybody in tears. And then we raise a glass to Cheryl, and the people at the foundation, they're excited because look at the good we're doing. Okay, now what happens then? Those people get to go back to the people who have even more money and say, "We need you to pour some more money in." Now, same thing with cancer research. For example, the people who donate to cancer research, they put the money in a pot. That's the foundation. Then now the doctors come and they all say, "Well, I got a chance to cure it over here. I could cure it over here. I could cure it over there." So they give them all a little bit of money. But they want somebody at some point to come back with some progress. Yeah. Well, we cured it in mice, or we were able to cure it if it was in this stage. Okay, we just need a little bit more money. Okay, but if there's no success, there's no progress. How you gonna get some more money, even if it's free money? So at the end of the day, you still got to be able to do the core four, which is get, close, keep, and capitalize. So now, again, if it's a grant, still got to have some social proof to prove that you're the person they should give money to, because they know if they give out a whole bunch of money and don't nobody do nothing, then they're probably not going to be able to get any money the next year. So they need people who can be successful. If you do an after school tutoring program, the best thing you can do is help all these kids graduate, get into colleges, get straight A's, stay out of trouble. So again, there has to be some proof. So for my people watching and you saying, "Well, I want the grant money." Okay, that's how you get the grant money. Okay. Again, we already talked about the bank money. You get the bank money with sales. So I'm saying this to say that it is extremely important to learn how to overcome these objections. Because if you don't learn how to overcome these objections, then you're not going to make any money, which means you're not going to have any social proof, which means you're never going to be able to be in the position that you really want to be in. But if you have the social proof, because you have been able to overcome the objections, then all of a sudden, angel investors, banks, foundations, sponsorships all want to do business with you because you're a success. Yeah. Usher was at the Super Bowl because he sold millions of albums. Simple as that. So no matter what you do, there has to be sales. And the only way to get sales is to be able to overcome these objections. We got to be the best at what we do. We got to be able to articulate through the best at what we do and why we do it better than anybody else. Meaning we have to have a really good offer. And then we have to limit the amount of time that the offer is out there. So now people have a sense of urgency and they're not going, well, maybe next month because the price don't change. But if you say, hey, the price changed, so you come back next month, but it's going to cost you more. Now people are less likely to go looking around. Like, we the best already. We got the best offer. And it only lasts for this long. So either you're going to get it or you ain't. Same thing when we start talking about pricing. You know, if people are talking about price, it's because they do not see the value. Again, if people are talking about the price, it's because they don't see the value, meaning they don't think it is worth what you are offering. So therefore, you have to communicate why it's worth it. You know, so again, if you have somebody who's doing your marketing, can they write it? Can he put it in a script? Can he put it in an email? Because that's what's going to close them. Being able to show why it's worth it. You know, so again, why it's worth it. How do we create the value? We're going to get you to your ideal outcome faster, easier, simpler, with less stress. We're the best people to get you to your outcome. We do things that other people can't do. Imagine how much money you could make if you were doing something that other people couldn't do. Again, I make you money, they make memes. They get you attention, I get you dollars. Now, which one are you more likely to do business with? Because you need your money in order to feed your family. So are you likely to go with the person who can't prove to you that they can make you some money, or the person who can? If it's a restaurant, you could be in a restaurant. And if that restaurant is set up in a way that is going to help you close the deal with that client, you're going to keep bringing clients to that restaurant because this bad boy is a closer. You know, if it's a cologne and it helps you get women and you out here trying to get women, you're going to keep buying that cologne because it's a closer. Boy, you put that on. Boy, you put that Bond number 9 on. You put some of that oud on, from the Middle East or something. Man, girls going crazy. You're going to keep wearing it. So now you're able to keep getting customers because you're closing and you're getting this really great result. So whatever it is, if it closes, you're going to keep it. Had a homeboy of mine, had this real beautiful car. Lady walked out of an establishment, saw his car sitting there, was like, whose car is that? He was like, oh, that's mine. And she said, that's a head getter. He like, what? He said, that's a head getter right there. So now, what kind of car do you want? Do you want a car that's a head getter? A head turner? Not quite the same thing, by the way. Or do you want one that doesn't? I mean, you got to spend money either way. So which one are you going to spend your money on? So again, in everything, price goes out the window when the benefit goes up. Benefit goes up when you're able to allow the person to do the thing that they really ultimately want to do better, easier, faster, with less stress. You want to close the deal with these women, man, you ain't got to do all that talking. Just pull up in this car. Right? You want to close the deal with these women, you ain't got to do all that talking. Just spray this cologne. That's going to get you all the way there. You want to close these women, man, get your beard done, get your hair cut. See, now the beard and the haircut doing the work, not you. Now the car's doing the work, not you. Now the cologne's doing the work, not you. And guess what? People spending a whole lot of money on cars, cologne, and haircuts. No different than with my ladies out there. You know, Spank's doing a whole lot of the work for you. So you're going to keep wearing them. So if the benefit is high enough, all of a sudden, the price does not matter as much. People wearing Lululemon, 40 going north. Now you're like, well, yeah, that Lululemon costs too much. Yeah, but you get those other brands, they don't look as good. You know, they don't curve, they don't hug the curves as much. They don't hold stuff in quite as much. Same thing with bras. You could get a cheap bra if you want. You'll regret it. But if you got the money, better get you a couple of them real nice ones, especially if you're a well-endowed woman. Shout out to my well-endowed women. But again, the price goes up because those bras do something that those cheap bras can't do. So again, you're having to figure out what you're the leader in and articulate that in your marketing right at the top. Number one, leader in, best at, perfect for. Right there at the top, right above the header, as soon as they see the thing. There you give them your one liner. Hey, we do this, without this. We help you make money without stress. We make it easy for you to make money. We help you turn free social media into cold hard cash. Which is now talking about the benefit. And you just work your way down the list. And if you're sitting across from somebody, and I'm going to finish with this because we run a little bit long today. But if you're sitting across from somebody, don't try to teach them. Go back and look at the takeaways. What is this costing you? What would it mean if you actually fix this problem? Do you have a way of fixing this problem? Okay. What is the way you're currently using working? Okay. And if it isn't working, what would it mean if you could get it to work? Or if you could swap it out for one that works better? Again, on the 2nd of April, 600K in 5 months blueprint. It's a system that I use with clients. It's a system that I use with a client. And that was the results that it yielded. Don't you think you want a system that would do something similar? If you did get a system that did something similar, what could it do for you? How would that change your business? Wouldn't it put you in a position to be able to hire some people? So if you hire some people, then what would you get to do with your time? Got good people in the store. Now you get a rich woman's lifestyle. You get to go get your nails done. You get to go get your hair done. You get to go have lunch with your homegirls and swipe your card to do it because you got great employees and you got money in the bank. But those great employees and money in the bank come from sales because great employees don't come cheap. You need to steal the great employee from this 9 to 5 that they working. But if you can't pay them like a good ass job, why are they leaving a 9 to 5? You got a salesperson that's cold. You don't think that every store in your local area wants that same person? You got a guy moving tons of merchandise. You don't think the competition wants them? So how you going to keep them? Show them the money. But if you ain't making no money, you can't show them no money. So again, you could take somebody's good employee if you could show them the money. Not only keep yours, you could take somebody else's. Now, what would happen if you took two people from two other guys that was killing it for them? You would weaken your competition and at the same time elevate yourself. But you have to have some sales to do it. Because even if you bring them over there, but you can't get any leads, you can't get any attention, you can't get any traction, you can't get any interest, what are they going to sell? That's why we talk about the forecourt. Because you got to be able to get before you can close. So you got to be able to get enough interest, get enough attention to get some contact information, which is called a lead, because that's supposed to lead to a sale. And then you either A, close them with the website because you got the great offer at a limited time, or you got a salesperson that's going, bam, here's what you need to do, here's what you need to get, here's how you get it. But in either case, it does not have to be you. And if it's not you, then you get to spend more time with your family. Don't you want to spend more time with your family? You know, go to more basketball games, take your kids on trips. You know, your mama might be getting a little bit older, so you want to spend more time with her, treat her a little bit better, help her do some of the things in life she wanted to do, help her, in her greater later years. Send out there to visit her sister. That happens when you got the money. So again, marketing and sales go together, and they are married to advertising. It is a pyramid. Okay. The foundation of the pyramid is marketing. Okay, because that's going to figure out how we get people to buy, how we get people to come to us, how we get people to notice us, how we get people to want to give us more money and give us referrals. So once we got the process right, but it should help the other two things that are standing on it, mind you, because the other two pieces are connected to it, but they also stand on it. Okay, so it should help the advertising because now it works better if we're saying the right things. If we're answering the questions that we know people have in the back of their mind. But then at the same time, it's going to be easier to sell because we've proven that we can actually deliver what we said in our marketing. Or at the minimum, what we've done is we've overcome enough objections to where they at least want to give it a try. So that has been another episode of Successful Marketing Sales for adult business and relationships for adult business owners and entrepreneurs, where we teach you the core four, which is how to get, keep, close, and capitalize off your customers. I'm your business big bro, Sadon Long, aka the most dangerous man in marketing. And if you have any question, whatever your question is, you can either A, leave it in the comments, B, DM me, or C, which is the one that I would prefer the most, which is go over to grownandrich.com. Click the Make Money Fast button, and it'll help you do exactly what it says. Make money fast. They're going to send me an email. I'm going to send you one back. And then we're going to set up a time to talk. And when we set up a time to talk, we're going to talk about everything about what's going on in your business and anything that you learned during that call that you could then use to make some money, which is not uncommon. You're more than free to do, and the call's on me. So as always, man, it's been an honor and a privilege. And until the next time, have a great day. And we're out.